Today, I'm going to discuss about the common preceding given for the December 2025 exam. Now, so first of all, we want to understand what is the meaning of common preceding. Meaning of common preceding. Uh, so here, uh, uh, if you look at about this particular document, this is not exclusively developed for a cell phone. This is developed for all subjects at strategic level. In other words, this is applicable to all the subjects at the strategic level. That's why it is called as common pre-C. Therefore, here there are accounting issues, auditing issues, taxation issues, financial management issues, as well as strategic management issues. So, from our perspective, we have to identify what are the area relevant for strategic management subject. That is the most important thing. Now, you know how your paper consists of. If you look at about your paper, there are two parts in your paper. Part A and B. Part A carry 50 marks. That include the two questions. Each question carry 25 marks. So there are 15 chapters in syllabus. So some of the areas will be picked and will be checked under the part A. Then when you look at about the part B, so that is based on the common quizzing. 50 marks are allocated for that. What will happen in the exam? There will be an unseen part. There will be some additional part given in the exam that is called unseen, since we have not seen it before. But this is seen by you, right? So normally the scenario given here will be extended under the unseen part. My personal experience, if you work hard with this pre-C, at least 80% of the pre-C can be predicted and can be done through your analysis, or can be covered through your analysis. That is my personal experience. So probably 20% may be attached with the unseen part, but 80% is attached with the pre-seen given. So practically what you have to do is you have to do whatever the analysis you can do with this pre-seen, and you want to make yourself prepare for this. I'm sure already you may have gone through this and may have done even certain analysis also relevant to this, right? So, while I'm conducting the sessions from time to time, I will ask you to raise questions. At that particular time, you can raise questions, right? So, maybe area-wise, I will stop and I will ask you whether there are any questions, clarification that you want to get in that particular scenario. What I will do is I will play uh, the things for you. Right. So, what type of analysis you can do with this? Right. I will show you the analysis I have done for the last time exam. This is the analysis I have done for the last time exam. Right. This June 2025, Suntel Lanka PLC. empowering digital change. Look at the number of analysis I have done. So I have done 74 analysis. 74 analysis. What I have done is I have covered this one chapter wise. Chapter wise, I have covered. Right. Chapter 1, 3, that. So 15 chapters have been covered. So the key tools given in each chapter has been covered in my analysis. So this is the analysis that you want to do also. Right? Right. So while I'm reading the pre-scene, I may identify certain things which can be tested. So you have to identify them as key areas. Now in this my analysis, these yellow color areas have been identified as the most important areas for the exam. Right? Maybe around 50, maybe identified as key areas. So when I'm doing this, the pre-seed analysis, I will tell you what are the key questions which can be raised in your exam also. So you have to make a note on that and you have to do the required analysis for them at least. Right. Right. Any clarifications, questions you have? Words are good. There are no concern issues. Right. So we'll go through this. First of all, we look at about the topic name. So what is the topic name? So topic name is the rise of healthcare PLC. The rise of healthcare PLC. Healthcare PLC නැගීම කියන එක. Right? So you look at about the past case studies given also, examiner is more interested about hospital. Now here also he has given a hospital, right? Uh, right. So we'll see. So when you are going to understand the pre-scene given, what you can do is, so you can imagine a similar organizations. Then it much easier for you to understand the things given. Now, when I read the case study, I assume this is similar to Navaloka, and then right, I try to connect what is in my mind with Navaloka with the case given. Then, because there are certain things in my mind regarding a hospital, right? The example is Navaloka. Then it's much easier for me to understand the given scenario, right? Right. Uh, so Normally, I can share the previous analysis. Nothing to worry. I can share. Now itself, I can share. No worries. Give me 1 second, I will share it. This time, actually, guys, I have not done analysis yet. I have not even started this. I am able to complete any analysis, I will share with Aruna. Then he will share it with you. Probably maybe 2 days before the exam, I may be able to complete some analysis for this. Right, already I have shared with you. How this is. I hope everyone has pursued it. Yeah, next is right. Right. So we'll go through the facts given. Uh, so look at the background. Now, if you look at about the phrasing given, it has been organized into two areas. Let's see the first part, the background, the socio-economic landscape of Sri. So they are going to explain about Sri Lankan environment. Then early life and missionary roots. So it's going to explain about the owner, then the birth of Healthcare PLC, now how this company was formed. That story is given. The strategic challenges and responses they have faced, the governance reforms and strategic realignment, strategic impact and legacy, key strategic lessons they have learned, strategic expansion into Kenyan Matara. They have established 2 branches. So that story how it was done. Then strengthening waste management for political delivery, ERP system to enhance operational efficiency and patient channeling. So he's given this ERP separate. So that indicate that you want to be familiar with the ERP related to this. So governance and leadership update, impact of industry-wide challenges and increased performance. So industrial analysis, strategic direction on pharmaceutical integrations. So more information about the future strategy you can apply. Testable rate, testable rate in annexure 1 that consists of financial information. Look at the financial information, they have got the financial information of healthcare PLC. They have got the balance sheet as well as PNL. Then annexure 2, they have given the target company, Sun Lanka Pharma Private Limited, financial information. Again, they have got the balance sheet as well as PNL. And plus the 3-year forecast. Then annexure 3, financial information of healthcare Candy Hospital PVLC. So subsidiary information. The branch information is separated, right? So initially it was we have found that there are 2 branches, one in Candy, other one in Matharan. So then the information we put the Candy. Again, PNL as well as the balance sheet separated. Annexure 4, Colombo Stock Exchange, Sri Lankan healthcare industry analysis. Right. So we'll start our discussion. from background, the socio-economic landscape of Sri Lanka. So what it say? The early 1980s, Sri Lanka was undergoing a critical phase of social transition. We all know in 1977, the closed economy of Sri Lanka was converted into a open economy. In 1980s, there were many changes happened, social economic transitions. Following decade of post-independent instability, the nation faced mounting developmental challenges. The economy was gradually opened up, but inequity remained high. So there was a huge difference between rich people and poor people. Inequity remained high, and infrastructure development lacked. There were not enough sufficient infrastructures, particularly in essential service such as healthcare. There was issue, especially with the healthcare industry. The state managed healthcare system, the government hospital system, although widespread, yes, we all know that there are hospitals covering the whole country in different areas who are struggling with the congestion. So there were many patients for those hospitals, congestion. Uh, so maybe long queues, a patient has to wait for a certain operation for so long period of time. Outdated medical equipment. So the medical equipment used was not up to the standard. Outdated medical equipment and shortages of qualified staff. There was a issue of qualified staff also with just a few private sector alternatives. Those who sought advanced treatment often had to travel abroad. Then they had to write travel abroad to get a better facility. Typical to India or Singapore. India probably like Apollo or Singapore. So now takes for an example, exposing a major gap in the country's capacity to deliver high quality, affordable healthcare domestically. So there was an opportunity also. The situation laid the groundwork for visionary reform and entrepreneurship in the sector. Amid this landscape, visionary individuals who combine global experience with local understanding are needed to find institutional transformation. Because during this crucial period that Srirangapura emerged as trailblazer in Sri Lanka's healthcare sector. So trailblazer, that means the pioneer, the main contributor, right? So you can identify the first name, key informations, the first key figure, that is Sena Katuporada. So he became the trailblazer in Sri Lanka's healthcare sector. In early life and visionary roots, born in Canada in 1952, Senegal displayed exceptional academic talent from a young age. It's very common, like if you look at about the previous case studies, please ignore. Uh, so they have talked about the entrepreneurs, the childhood, school life. Probably you can see someone who has performed academically well. Or sometimes he has good leadership style during the school times, having more the sports. Those are very common things. Now here also we can identify some similar information. So what it says, born in Kandy 1952, Seneca displayed exceptional academic talent from a young age. That means he was good academically. He pursued medicine and earned a gold, great for his commitment and intellect. Inspired by the global standard of care he witnessed during his post-study training abroad, he returned to Sri Lanka in 1982 with a single goal to revolutionize healthcare service in the country. He's a doctor now, right? He had the postgraduate education in foreign countries. Then, right, he saw some advanced facilities in those countries. So when he came back to Sri Lanka, he had a vision to change the healthcare sector in the country. We believe that access to high quality healthcare should not be a privilege of the wealthy but a right of every citizen. Good belief. No? So we want to do a good service to every Sri Lankan, not only for the rich group. Senaka possesses a dynamic personality, issue, visionary, collaborative, and deeply empathetic. He combines strong leadership ability, allowing him to attract talented individuals and build effective team. His ability to take calculated risks, stay focused under pressure, communicate a company vision made him an influential figure in Sri Lanka's emerging private sector. Right. So he's someone who can focus under pressure and right. Uh, so he was able to communicate his vision to others. He was identified as one of the influential figures in the emerging private sector. If you look at about the information given regarding the Senaka, so these information show about his leadership style. One can argue he's a visionary leader, right? A visionary leader. So that is one of the things I think you can highlight when you look at about the given scenario, right? Given scenario, uh, visionary leaderships. So you can think about some of the other leadership style also, which can be applied uh, in this particular scenario, right? For an example, you can think whether it is more employee-oriented leadership style, whether right it is more I can say it's whether more uh, task-oriented leadership style, right? You think on that. Right? Uh, so more analysis can be done here. Right. So we'll look at about the next one, the birth of Healthcare PLC. In 1983, Dr. Sena Katupon along with three of his batchmates. So not alone him, actually, there were some other parties who joined with him to establish the hospital. In 1983, Dr. Sena Katupur, along with three of his batchmates, Dr. Sanjay Silva, Dr. Sunil Madhav, and Dr. Vasanta Perra, established a private hospital in Kalampur Healthcare Private Limited. So, were other parties, Dr. Sanjay De Silva, Sunil Madhavagi, and Dr. Vasanta Perra. So, four of them together established the uh, private hospital, was called as Healthcare Private Limited. They formed the founding board of what would eventually become Healthcare PLC. Subsequently, it was upgraded as a PLC. They may have issued shares to the general public. Public company. Initially, it was a private company, then subsequently it became a public company. The initiative was both bold and pioneering. The concept of private healthcare services was still new and unfamiliar to the average Sri Lankan citizen. The concept was new because people were more attached with the state sector hospital. The founders introduced a model that was based on the four principles of quality, affordability, and innovations. So look at the values run well, their focus was quality. So they try to give a quality service to the customer. Affordability. So that is connected with the cost, no? They try to give a product at a reasonable price. So another one is innovations. They continuously innovate new things. HPL offer an integrated healthcare service that utilizes modern diagnostic tool and advanced medical equipment, most of which have never been used in the country. So they introduced new medical equipment to the country that was not even used by the state sector hospital. Despite being a private institution, the hospital offers service at prices accessible to the emerging medium middle class. So that was affordable service. The response from the public was overwhelmingly positive. Patients appreciate the efficiency, streamline, provision that markers stark contrast to what was general experience of state-run facility. So patients were happy. Both is offered by them. Within a few years, it will gain a reputation as reliable and patient-friendly institutions. Based on the information given, so you can work out with their strategy. You can identify what is the strategy used by these particular organizations. You can use the Michael Porter's generic strategies. You can identify whether it's cost leadership, differentiation, so focus strategy. At the same time, you can look at about the Bowman strategy clock also. When I look at about the Michael Porter strategy, so what do you think, guys? You can send a message. What is the strategy as per the Michael Porter's they use? Uh, so we try to do some rough conclusions. Subsequently, we may right later we may find some more informations to make a conclusion on that. Yes, what you are telling is correct, Kavish, and there was some. Uh, so it seemed to be differentiation strategy, right? Differentiation strategy. So at this particular point, so data sometimes this may change. We'll see. If you use the Bowman strategy clock, what is the strategy? Can be the most possible strategy. Bowman strategy clock can anyone suggest? Now, how many strategies identified by the Bowman? If you remember, Bowman identified 8 strategies. From the each strategy, 3 was identified as not peaceful strategy. In other words, only 5 peaceful strategies were identified. For no fill, low price, right? Then hybrid differentiation, focus differentiations. Those are the 5 strategies identified by Bowman. Yes, I agree what you have mentioned here. I also feel this probably the hybrid strategy. Yeah. I personally feel this hybrid strategy. Why? Because they were given more emphasis on the affordability side also. While they are trying to focus about the quality and innovation, there is more connect with the differentiation feature. So they were focusing about giving an affordable price to the customers. Therefore, the cost features as well as differentiation features can be found. As per the Bowman, we see that more associated with the hybrid strategy. Yes, what you have told is correct at this particular point. Right? Right. Then strategic challenges and responses. As the hospital grew in popularity, the company faced several strategic challenges. These were past right stories, right? Past facts. So when they were growing, they faced some challenges. What are the challenges they face? These include increasing operational costs started to escalate, pressure to expand services across the country. So there was a requirement to give the service to other part of the country also. Initially, it was established in the Colombo area, and the need to stay competitive in a gradually liberalizing healthcare market. So more people may enter into the market, and we have to be more competitive with them. One of the most important, most significant strategic milestone occurred in 2000 when HPL was listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. So it was started in 1980s, no? 1983, actually. It was established 1983. In 2000, the company was converted into a public listed company. So that means they have issued share to general public. I recognize the need to raise capital for further expansions. One of the objectives was to get the required money for further expansions. I introduced state-of-the-art healthcare technology, so invest money in the new technologies. This move transformed the company into a publicly listed entity, Healthcare PLC, and marked a new era of corporate governance and strategic planning. So normally the governance rule is more applicable to the listed companies now. For an example, in Sri Lanka, the corporate governance code is applicable to listed entities. Right, the strategic planning, yes, we have to more focus about the long-term plan of the organization, not about the short-term plan of the organizations. Right. So governance reform and strategic realignment. With the transition into a listed entity, the board introduced a robust governance mechanisms. Three independent directors are appointed to the board to enhance transparency, bring in diverse perspective, and ensure accountability. Now, you should have independent directors, no? At least half, I think. Right? You should have independent directors. Two-thirds of the directors should be non-executive directors, no? The listed company. So, three independent directors were appointed to the board. The objective was to enhance transparency and bring in diverse perspective. When you have diversified board, they may bring different perspective into the board. For an example, so IT professionals, cybersecurity these professionals, accountants, lawyers, marketers. So all these people will bring different perspective to the company and ensure accountability. So they want to ensure the accountability also. Among these changes, a new leadership structure was formed. Dr. Prabhat Jais, who was appointed as the CEO of HP, it's a new name. Dr. Prabhat Jayasinghe, I think, was he the initial shareholders? No, right? It's a separate person. Right? The first four name mentioned was Senakathu Korla, Sanjeev Silva, Sunil Madhavaki, and Dr. Vasanta Perra. So with the transition into listed entity, the board introduced a robust governance mechanism. Three independent directors were appointed to the board to enhance transparency, bringing in diverse perspectives and ensure accountability. Among these changes, a new leadership structure was formed. Dr. Prabhat who was appointed as the CEO of HP. So what we can assume is before that, probably one man show, right? The Dr. Atu Korala may have been playing the role of both the chairman and the CEO. Our separate CEO was appointed. That is one of the requirement of the code of corporate governance. Code of corporate governance. The CEO and the chairman should be separate persons responsible for executing the company's operational strategic goals. Right. While Dr. Sena Katipurla became the chairman of the board, he was the chairman. Provide visionary guidance and maintain strategic oversight. Normally, the board task is to provide a strategic direction. Right? These changes brought new life into the organizations. Under Dr. Prabha, the operational leadership and Dr. Sena's strategic direction. So day-to-day activities were handled by the Dr. Prabha and Dr. Sena handled the long-term directions. HP expanded its service across several provinces, invested in medical educations, and established strategic partnership with international medical institutions. Right. So this medical education, probably a training center may have been established. And they develops some strategic partnership with international medical institutions. Strategic impact and legacy. Today, HP is recognized not just as a hospital chain, but as a national institution that redefine the delivery of medical services in Sri Lanka. So this was likewise of national institutions and that deliver the medical service in Sri Lanka. They redefine the delivery of medical service in Sri Lanka. So they may have done some things newly, no? It was not offered by anyone else before that. Has become model for private healthcare delivery in South Asia and a case study in how vision leadership, combining sound governance and strategy, agility can transform a sector. See, this was an example for others also when in South Asia. The company continued to innovate by integrating digital health services. See, this innovation, continue to innovate. So innovation was on the theme they have at the beginning also. The three values for I5 one most innovations. The company continues to innovate by integrating digital health services, investing in artificial intelligence-based diagnostic, and pursuing sustainability goals to green hospital initiatives. So they were focusing on sustainability, but green hospital initiatives, integrating digital health services, investing in artificial intelligence-based diagnostics. The legacy of Seneca lives on not just in the institution he built, but in the thousands of lives that have been saved to the service employment. His name was very known for everyone. Right. Any questions, guys, up to now? Right. What are the key strategic lessons? The story of HP is a powerful illustration of how vision leadership can lead transformation and change. He also talk about vision leadership. Senecal's unwavering clarity of purpose was instrumental in the organization during a time when private healthcare was almost non-existent in Sri Lanka. So he clearly communicate what is the purpose of the mission. So at that time, private hospital was non-existent, almost non-existent. That indicate maybe one of you may be there at that time. His willingness to take risks combined with deep empathy for the community is someone who ready to take risks. He had a deep empathy for the community, provide the foundation for building a healthcare institution that would set new standard across the country. So they develop a new standard in healthcare. As the company grew and evolved, Dr. Senak and his board demonstrate that effective governance could serve as a pillar of sustainability, mark a strategic shift toward a greater transparency and accountability. The appointment integrated represent a separate CEO, empower the organization to maintain professional rigor while still adhering to its founding vision. This collaborative governance structure not only ensure compliance but also promote strategic foresight and long-term planning in the decision-making process. So compliance as well as strategic foresight, and the long-term planning for decision-making process. At the heart of HP's operation model was belief that innovation should not be a luxury. From the very beginning, the founders introduced advanced medical technologies that were new to Sri Lanka but priced in upper middle class. So innovations is one of the themes they apply from the beginning. They want to introduce advanced medical technologies that is affordable to even to middle class. Strategy not only disrupted the status quo, so status quo means the prevailing situation. It was disrupt, change the prevailing situation, but also build a strong base of public trust and loyalty that was helpful to develop a good trust among the public as well as to develop some loyalty. The organization's ability to consistently introduce new technologies without compromising affordability or whole market CIDK. They continuously introduce new technologies at a reasonable price. Finally, the company sustained success with DAP rooted in its people, from the founding partners, nursing staff, and technicians, people who employ as main aspect of the organizations, right? So founding partners, nursing staff, technicians. Dr. Senak emphasized on building a culture of learning, compassion, and profession. So he encouraged to have a more learning culture, compassion, and professions. So learning organization may be tested. No? An example. Organizations be tested, even culture can be tested. System it can be tested in the handy culture, definition of culture. Can ask what is the culture available in these organizations. Thing wrong, I can't understand this point. See, um, organizations and the culture. It we invested heavily in training program and knowledge sharing initiatives, believing that human capital was its most valuable resource. So human capital was the most valuable resource. This people-centric approach fostered a resilient organizational culture, something is bearable, than a Sanskrit, that could adapt and grow with change. Right. These intermediate lessons offer more than a studying routine. They reveal our purpose-driven leaderships, ethical governance, inclusive innovations, and empowering others together build leaders of sustainable transformations. HP on Healthcare Lab Private Limited. Today I was updated. Healthcare Laboratory Private Limited, a fully equipped, internationally standardized laboratory that conduct a wide range of diagnostic tests for both in-house and outpatient clients. So like now local laboratory or Sri Medical Healthcare, she also have laboratory system. So that was useful for in-house patient as well as outpatients client also. Owing to the high reliability and accuracy of test result, the laboratory has strong recognition in the medical community and is often recommended by healthcare. The accuracy was high. Laboratory generates significant revenue and has expanded its reach through a network of collection centers located in suburban areas. They established some collection centers, including Kandy, Matra, Old, Kampal, Kegol, Kalutara, and Pardu. These are some of the examples. There are maybe more than that. For sample collection, only the two hospitals in Kandy and Matra are reimbursed for their collection costs. All other medicines are accompanied with 10% commissions. Bill cost of reimbursed to Kandy and Matra, but 10% commission was given to the others. On the total value of limited test put through them. Right, any questions, guys, from these areas we have discussed. Now questions from anyone? Right. And we can move to the next strategic expansion into Kandy and Mathur. They have two branches now. Now they talk about how it was happened. Strategic expansion into Kandy and Mathur, keeping its long-term commitment to make quality healthcare accessible across Sri Lanka. HB undertook a major expansion initially in 2018 by acquiring two nursing homes, one located in Kandy and the other in Mathur. Since they are not newly constructed these two, what they have done is they acquire some of the existing companies and change the name of the two nursing homes after Efficient Healthcare Kandy Private Limited and Healthcare Mathur Hospital Private Limited, two subsidiaries. Now altogether how many subsidiaries? Three. We have a laboratory service also. These institutions, both previously functioning as private limited companies, were operating with limited resource and limited performance. Those are some of the problems. They had private companies, they had limited resource as well as uh, facing some decline in performance. Yet they were studying situations in urban centers with significant unpaid demand for advanced medical services. These were located in urban areas in Kenya and Mathura. So there were more demand they can cater, but didn't make those demands. Recognize this opportunity, HP moved decisively to transform these nursing homes into fully functional hospital under the corporate umbrella of the healthcare brand. These nursing homes were converted into a fully functional hospital. The decision was both strategic and symbolic. This decision was more strategic and symbolic. Kandy, being Seneka's birthplace, held emotional value while also serving the regional hub to the growing populations. All right. So Kandy being Seneka's birthplace, held emotional value while also the region hub with the growing populations. And Kandy was its birthplace now, a more connected. And population limited public infrastructure and increased demand for very square. Mathura, coastal city in the south, had don't suffer from inadequate access to tertiary care facilities. By converting these nursing homes into modern community-based hospitals, HP aimed to eliminate the long-standing dependence on Colombo for advanced treatment and reduce the logistic and financial burden on patient living in remote regions. Right. Once the acquisition were completed, HP invested significantly in upgrading both facilities. They invest more probably equipment, right? They need some information on that. The renovations include infrastructure development, modern diagnostic lab, mindless surgery unit, intensive care unit, telemedicine capabilities, and the integration of hospital information systems. These are some of the things they have introduced. The surrounding infrastructure was improved, right? The modern lab, minor surgery unit, intensive care unit, right? Telemedicine capabilities and the integration of hospital information system, advanced medical imaging technology, and digital record keeping were introduced to align the parent hospital standard in Colombo. Right. Now the system was connected with the main one, right? The Colombo one. The facilities were also rebranded and incorporated into the wider healthcare network, allowing for seamless patient transfers, shared knowledge resources, and streamlined operations. This move was not only about expanding market presence but also about deepening social impact. The decentralized hospital not allowed patients from central and southern Sri Lanka to receive quality care without the cost and inconvenience of traveling long distance. So now see this, the people in Mathura and Kandy were able to get a quality care service now uh, at a convenient price. At the same time, that save their traveling time to go to Colombo. Long distance traveling was avoided. So it also strengthens HP's brand equity. You know what is the brand equity, the brand value, right? You are trying to calculate the value of a brand in China context. So if you look at about the brand finance, you see what brand finance say. Sri Lankan brand finance, right banking. See how it look like. Yeah, but Sri Lankan. World countries given a story. Number one, Apple. Second, Amazon. Google. Number three, four, Microsoft. Number five, Walmart. Six, Samsung. Seven, Facebook. This is, I think, old one. Yes. 2025 is not there. 23 is there. 2025 not is there. This number one is Bank of Ceylon actually. So just checking if I can find it. These old photos are there. No? Number two, Impact Dialogue. Number three, Commercial. Number four, Investment. Number five, Investment. So they have done is they have calculate the brand value. To calculate brand value, uh, so normally it's very difficult to calculate the value, uh, right? But they have calculated. Just remember the first five I have mentioned. You can properly identify that right data. Here you can see this who has found it. A has found it. Bank of Ceylon number one, right? Two, commercial bank. No, Dialog is number three. Sorry, you see, Bank of Ceylon number one. That's true. Yes, commercial is number two actually. Sorry, number three is Dialog. Number four, number four, ITP Bank. Yes. So see, in commercial bank. In dialogue, see what has happened dialogue. You can see here now. Now the photo is there. There you can see. Hope you can see. Number 1, POC. Number 2, commercial. Number 3, dialogue. Number 4, People's Bank. NSP. Number 5, Sampal Bank. Number 6, Keys. Number 7, Hadley's 8. Line 9 should be there. All right. Then what can we verify? So once the acquisition of complete, significantly upgrading both facilities. The renovations include infrastructure development, modern diagnostic lab, minor surgery. So we read that part. More advanced medical imaging technology and digital record keeping were introduced to the line the hospital at Colombo. The facility was also rebranded and incorporated the wider healthcare network, allowing for seamless patient transfers, shared knowledge, society, and operation. This move was not only about expanding market presence, but also about deepening social impact. The decentralized hospital model allows patients from central and southern Sudan to receive quality care without costing the of traveling from a distance. It also strengthens achieve brand equity as a national institution with the grassroots presence. Further consolidation is leadership in the private sector. So we discuss about this brand equity. To ensure sustainability, it's also focused on regional talent development. Area is not only Colombo. They want to develop talent. The company partner with local universities and vocational training institutions provide training program in nursing, laboratory science, and hospital administrations. So this talent management, we tested. Right? The company partnered with the local universities and vocational training institution provide training program in nursing, laboratory science, and hospital administration. These efforts create employment opportunity within local communities, reduce brain drain to urban areas, and ensure that each regional hospital operated with skill and dedicated staff aligned with the standard. Right. So that give more opportunities for local community, more employment opportunities. Then people stop coming from rural areas to urban areas. By 2021, both facilities had reached operational profitability and were receiving patient satisfaction rating comparable to those in the Colombo departments. So the operational profitability was there. More importantly, these hospitals had come to represent HP's core values. Those aligned with HP's core values, compassion, affordability, innovations, and excellence. Delivered at scale, the successful integration of Kandy and Matra Hospital to HP's national network demonstrate the viability of strategic regional expansions and reaffirm the organization role as a transformative force in Sri Lanka healthcare landscape. HP has not declared any dividend for 2024 and 2025. Not declared any dividends. No. Company has opted to reinvest its earnings support growth initiatives. They reinvest. The strategies in line with focus on long-term expansion value creations. If we remain optimistic about its future growth prospect, Newman De Silva, the financial controller, the chartered accountant, has highlighted that the company anticipates a steady increase in its operating almost over the next 3 financial years, especially earning before interest and taxes projected to grow by 5% per annum in financial year 2025 and 26, followed by a 6% growth in both financial year 2026-27 and financial 27-28, and by 7% per annum thereafter. Prediction is really good now. This anticipated improvement is primarily driven by the planned implementation of advanced technical system which are expected to enhance operational efficiency and productivity. The introduction of the upgraded network system is to require capital investment of 80 billion to be undertaken with the financial year 31st March 2026. They need 80 million additional capital. In addition to this capital outlay, the company forecasts that changes in working capital for approximately 20 million per annum will be necessary throughout the 3-year period. Support the expanded operation and accommodate the improved technological infrastructure. Working capital requirement is 20 million per annum. More relevant financial benefits. Overall, these strategic initiatives are expected to strengthen the company's long-term growth trajectory, enhance operational efficiency, and position HP for sustainability for stakeholders. Right. Any questions, guys? No questions. Then shall we have 1 minute water break? We have 1 minute. Don't worry about this cash flow matters. That doesn't have any impact on our subject. Right. So we'll move to the next point. Strengthening waste management for quality healthcare delivery. So strengthening waste management. So this waste management is one of the critical activity in hospital, guys. Remember, right? A lot of waste is created. So you can't just throw it out like normal, waste of a home. No, you can't do like that. So certain things may be some medicines that may have some effect. So there should be a proper way of disposing these things, right? So they want to strengthen the waste management in this hospital for quality healthcare delivery. We'll see what they are talking about there. In 2017, HPE undertook a significant step toward environmental sustainability and patient safety by investing in modern hospital waste management system at its Colombo flagship facility. To invest in a new system in Colombo Hospital, the strategic initiative was not only driven by regulatory compliance, very one regulatory requirement, they adhere to that, but also by a broader vision of reinforcing quality healthcare delivery through responsible environment stewardships. You want to have some right responsibility toward environment stewardships. The system implemented in 2017 was designed with international standard in mind, incorporating segregations of waste at the source, a color code bin, sterilization of various material used in autoclaves, and a centralized incineration process that ensure minimal environmental impact. So this is having a minimal environmental impact. Biomedical waste was classified to hazardous, non-hazardous, clean and treated accordingly. The central system also includes real-time monitoring and compliance tracking, making it one of the first of its kind in the country. This outcome was marked improvement in overall hospital hygiene, a reduction in infection rate, RCs. Some interesting facts. The outcome was a marked improvement in overall hospital hygiene. Hygiene was improved in the hospital. Reduction in infection rate. See, very important point. So this helped to reduce the infection rate and compliance with the Ministry of Health evolving waste disposal standard and comply with the Ministry of Health standard also. More importantly, it did not trust of patient and general public needs be commitment to quality and safety. So general public trust was increased. However, the same level of waste management excellence has not yet been achieved in the Mathur and Kandy Hospital, the two subsidiaries of HB, which were established through the acquisition and upgrading of two former nursing homes in 2018. We all know the story, but the subsidiaries still is the level is now model. Right, while these facilities have successfully many of the medical and patient care standard of Colombo branch, waste management remains present challenge for these two branches. The inherited infrastructure lack built-in system for biomedical waste separations, autoclaving and zipper disposal mechanism. Considering current practice are manual intensive, intensive follow and occasional outsource third-party waste handler without robust oversight. Many relate with this. This gap poses a risk not only to the environment, public health, but also the long-term sustainable reputation of the branches. So branches are not adhering to this. It's one of the problems. Right? If you are conducting a substancy, you can identify these as weaknesses. Recognizing this challenge, we senior management is actively relating the strategic upgrade to implement decentralization fund before Mathur and Kandy Hospital. This will be good. Now, see, still they have not taken decision, but they are considering that. Right? So what they are going to do in there? First one, installations of on-site sterilization unit, using portable autoclaves and shedders to sterilize infectious waste before disposal, like with WHO guidelines. Second, Waste segregation training program, conducting continuous staff training, session on proper segregation techniques, personal protective equipment usage and safety protocol. Number three, integration of waste management into quality control system, monitoring waste metric as part of council performance dashboard to encourage accountability and continuous improvement. Number four, green procurement policies, ensuring suppliers provide environmentally friendly, consumer-led packaging to minimize hazardous output. Collaboration with local authorities, partner with local council and health regulatory share risk and infrastructure services. Implementing these improvements will help the mother and family hospital to meet the same gold standard set in Colombo. This is not still done now. They are planning to do that. So they implement that will be similar to the facilities in Colombo. Will also support HP's broader objective of delivering world-class portable healthcare to all Sri Lankan, irrespective of geography and without compromising on environmental occupational health standard. So the fairness is ensured. Through this transformation, HP continue to demonstrate that strategic investment in operation excellence, even back-end functions like waste management are crucial pillars of healthcare quality, safety, and community trust. The topic is ERP system to enhance operational efficiency and patient time. So you must look at the ERP part of your settings. They're talking about ERP. So more possible to test the questions from this set. HP implemented an ERP system as part of the strategic initiative to enhance operational efficiency and service delivery. The new system enabled better integration of key functions such as finance, inventory, procurement, and patient management, allowing for real-time data access and improved decision. So we all know. So what happened in ERP? There are modules. So finance, inventory, they can input data, and real-time these are updated. Then when others take in decision, they can find real-time data. Additionally, the ERP system has introduced a proper challenging system, streamlining patient appointment and consultation, reducing wasting time, and improving overall patient experience and satisfactions. So to better service to customers. Is digital transformation mark significant steps toward modernizing the company's healthcare operations. Help price company's healthcare operation. However, during the initial stages of implementation of the ERP system, several challenges were observed in the financial reporting process. These included manual journal entries being recorded without proper review, missing approval, unnecessary balances, incomplete financial statement. Such issues highlighted the need for tight internal control, comprehensive staff training, and ongoing control to ensure the ERP system fully delivered its intended benefit. These are past things. I don't think right. This is all this is still available. So assumption is these are already rectified. We'll see. Because they say clearly, were observed in the financial reporting process. That is in the past. No? The digital transformation nonetheless make a significant step toward monetizing the company's healthcare operation, provided that the identified financial reporting gaps are addressed in a timely manner. Although comprehensive ERP system was established to streamline operations across the hospital, several consistent conflicts to highlight by the external auditor the previous year's audit. So previous year's audit, that means very soon, very close actually. So we can assume that still the problem prevail. These concerns were formally disclosed in the management letter issued to the shareholders. The critical weakness lies in the current patient challenge system, which is integrated across 3 hospitals. In order inconsistencies and gap in the transaction logging, use authentications and audit trail maintenance, particularly the front desk and online model. Choose. Right. So more connect with the auditing subject, no internal controls anyway. So if you're doing a substances, you can identify the mass weakness. These weaknesses create gap where appointment could be recorded without correctly matching the related company where staff might bypass the normal preventive procedures. This creates a high risk of cash losses or even possible part fee misuse, possibility of fraud even. In addition, due to fraud and control lapses occurring at the channel stage, the hospital is exposed to an even more severe consequence in cases where revenue is not collected from the patient. The hospital is still obligated to pay the consult fee from its own fund. Look at that. In addition, due to fraud and control lapses in the channel state, the hospital is exposed to an even more severe consequence in cases where revenue is not collected from the patient. The hospital is still obliged to pay the consult fee from its own fund. This means the hospital not only loses the income that should have been collected, but also incur an additional output to supplement our losses. I hope you got the point. Now, for example, you didn't collect the money from the patients, but there's a portions to the doctor, no? You have to pay to the doctor. See, if you look at our channel visit, for example, the channel visit will say, sometime what I have seen is, we say 6,000 rupees, 5,000 for the doctors, 1,000 only for the hospital. So now in this case, 6,000 is not been collected, but you have to pay to the doctor still 5,000. So moreover, the ERP system which has been in operation without significant upgrade now show limitations in the ability to support modern hospital operation. Now there are some issues. Not upgrade. The lack of regular system upgrade means that critical security patches, compliance related enhancement and user interface improvement have not been implemented. High risk, no? We are not update the patches that create more risk, right? Not compliant. Is expose the company to cybersecurity. See, it's mentioned, this expose the company to cybersecurity and make the system less adaptable to new requirement. Compliant risk also, and patient service expectations. Operational risk. Furthermore, the absence of real-time integration with the modern payment gateways result in delays in performing online card-based transactions. So, not real-time integrations with the payment gateway. So, those are creating problems. Payment often need to be manually cross-checked with bank statement, increasing the chances of mismatches or errors to not be for long period. Similarly, the lack of integrations between the ERP systems, patient channeling model, billing system, and inventory management further complicate financial accuracy. For example, consumable or pharmaceutical is during patient appointment not always automatically up to the finance system in the real time. Because a subsequent manual adjustment. That means bills are not updated on time. Manually you do it. There's a possibility to miss out those things. So costing. This fragmented process often lead to discrepancy between service delivery records, stock level, and revenue recognitions. These integrations and upgrading gaps have a direct impact on the timelines and reliability of financial reconciliations. Month-end and year-end reconciliation processes take significantly longer than industry benchmark, as finance team must rely on manual interventions, more time to statement, spreadsheet and offline approved system deficiencies. This not only increase the risk of human error, but also delay the preparation of accurate management report and finance statement. In case where data mismatch occur, tracing the original transaction will be cumbersome due to weak trails, weak audit trails, and delays in synchronization. If not addressed properly, promptly, is internal control failures, technology deficiencies will continue to expose the institutions to potential cash losses, inefficiencies, particularly in an increasingly competitive healthcare market where transparency and real-time service are expected. So governance and leadership update. There may be governance issues that is more related with the auditing and immediately look at. The audit committee of the HP continued to be chaired by Bonaka Da Silva, distinguished fellow member of Sri Lanka, born 10th October 1954. Bonaka brings a wealth of experience in finance oversight and governance and is expected to continue his current role, including consistent audit committee leadership. What do you think about? Now it is 2025. This is December. So what is the age now of this guy? 71 years. What the maximum board member age limit in a listed company as per the governance code? Someone tell. 71-year-old person, older board, not 60, I think. It's 70. Am I correct? Right? So his age has exceeded that one. So then he can't hold the questions further. Right? Supporting him is Dr. Shaluk Pirif, an independent director born on 12 December, September 1970, and well-regarded legal practitioner specialized in commercial law. Participated of Colombo. Their combined financial and legal impact contributes significant to the governance structure of the company. Say it's okay, right? It's a lawyer. Right. Furthermore, in a strategic move, HP decided to strengthen operational healthcare and Hospital Private Limited, deal with its high cost structure, including high short term borrowing. First, Sunil Gomes, who currently serves as one of the independent directors of the group, has to assume the role of Chief Executive of Healthcare and Hospital Private Limited. One of the independent directors has been appointed, as the CEO of the Healthcare and Hospital Limited. This appointment is expected to bring a fresh leadership perspective and drive much needed operational and financial reform to improve the hospital's sustainable long-term. Right. So, impact of industry-wide challenges on HP's performance. The healthcare industry in Sri Lanka is currently navigating a complex and volatile environment marked by combination economic and operational challenges. One of the most pressing issues affecting both private and public healthcare providers is the deteriorating quality and increasing of the pharmaceutical product in the local market. See, there is issue about the pharmaceutical product available, quality issues. Then sometimes the required medicine is not available. Several recent reports and audit have highlighted substandard medicine batches entering the supply chain due to low regulatory enforcement, irregular processes, and individual quality assurance. So, substandard, that means low quality medicines are in the process. These systematic flaws in the pharmaceutical sector directly impact the operation of HP, leading to disruption in treatment protocol, delay patients' recoveries, and in some cases, pre-admission, thereby driving up operation costs and negatively affecting patient trust and CCC. So, pharmaceutical sector is not trustworthy. There are inferior medicines, there are delays, there are unavailability of medicine. This has created many problems, right? For example, so when you have given inferior medicine to patients, it take delay recoveries, and then later again they re-admit to the hospital. Right? First problem, the patient is not trusting. Right? Moreover, the growing frustrations among government sector doctors has further strained the healthcare ecosystem, overburdened by poor working conditions. Right? See this, the growing frustrations among government sector doctors. Government sector doctors are not happy. Right? The poor working conditions sometimes, so they have to work 24 hours. There are some doctors who are not available. Right? Some of them have migrated. So many issues in the government hospital. Working conditions is not up to standard. That has created frustrations with the government sector doctors, lack of career development opportunities and delay promotions. They have to stay so long period to get promotion. Many government doctors have either moved overseas or shifted to private practice and apartments. Move overseas. Or they have uh, resign from the government hospital and start private practice. Or sometimes, though, while they are staying in the government sector, they may have start private practice on part-time basis. This migration has increased the burden on the private sector like HP to meet the rising demand for quality care while contending with the shortage of skilled medical professionals. We all know after this the COVID as well as Sri Lankan economic crisis occurred in 2021 has led many doctors to migrate the country. In certain areas, doctors are in shortage. In particular, the Kandy and Mother Hospital have experienced difficulty in maintaining nurses and service level due to difficulty in recruiting and retaining qualified consultant and medical staff. Two branches have badly affected. In addition to military uh, uncertainties, foreign exchange limitations affecting the importation of medical equipment and special drug. Right, we had some important currency crisis. Right, so we expected right to repay around 2028 again. There will be more problems. Right, so increased competition for low cost clinic have eroded profit margin and reduced further operational strain. There are some clinic they offer the service at a lower price. Right, so that has reduced the profit margin further. Patient affordability has also become a concern with economic pressures limiting the ability of many families to access private care, resulting in decline in mortality in certain departments. So you can't afford, no, right, private care. The overall impact has been the gradual duration of financial performance of HP, with particular stress on children hospital that are yet to achieve sustainable. Still, these two branches are struggling more compared with HP. Right, obviously, challenges for strategic interventions, including investment in quality control, staff retention programs, and digital health innovation ensure resilient and inclusive demand in healthcare landscape. Right, any questions, guys, up now? Questions? Right. Strategy direction on pharmaceutical integrations. In light of growing concern regarding the quality and consistency of medicine supplied by various pharmaceutical companies, the board of directors of HP has recently taken a strategic decision to explore opportunities for vertical integration in the pharmaceutical supply chain. You know what is vertical integration? Now, if you look at the diversifications, how many options are the diversifications? Two options, no? Related diversification and unrelated diversification. When it comes to related diversifications, vertical integrations, other one is horizontal integrations. Vertical integration mean you become either supplier or distributor. You started to perform the work of the distributor, that is called forward integrations. You start to do the work of a supply, that is called backward integrations. Right? So horizontal integrations cover what actually? So do complementary business or competitive business. Right here, they talk about vertical integration. That means we have two options. Either we can become a supplier, if so, that is called backward integrations, or we can become a distributor, then forward integrations. So HP has recently taken a strategic decision to explore opportunities for vertical integration in the pharmaceutical supply chain. This initiative is spearheaded by Senaca aim to safeguard the hospital standard in patient care by ensuring direct access to reliable and high quality pharmaceutical product. The potential merger of acquisitions target identified is Sri Lanka Pharma Private Limited. We can merge or acquire that. So merge means that so we see there's organization called A, then there's another one called B. Then merge means the two entities become one entity for EB, right? For an example, Standard Chartered Bank is an example for a merge of two banks. Right. So the Regional Development Bank is an example for merge of six banks together, like Ruhuna, right? Rural Development Bank, right? Like that, there were six regional banks. So acquire mean actually, so when you acquire, it may become a subsidiary. Or sometimes what you may do is you may completely absorb that one into your one. For example, NSB acquire Shinaka Savings Bank and then they right, so absorb everything of Shinaka Savings Bank, employees and all the assets. Now there is no entity for Shinaka Savings Bank, right? Uh, right. So look at the Sanlanka Pharma Private Limited, a well-established and reputable pharmaceutical company with long-standing agency right to several local brand medications. It's a popular one. No? At the same time, they have agency right to connect with some European companies. SSP under the ownership of Dr. Stanley De Silva has built a strong market presence over the years, however, with no clear succession plan in place. Dr. De Silva has expressed interest in either merge the company with selling into a critical healthcare entity. So next generation may not be ready, right? His sons or daughters, or he may not be married. Therefore, no successions. Therefore, so no option for him is keen to sell or merge with someone. The proposed integration with SLP presents a timely opportunity for HP to strengthen its supply chain, enhance its procurement reliability. If we apply a pharmaceutical company, that means forward integrations, no? And reinforce commitment to delivering safe and effective medical clinical integration across its hospital network. SLP record a modest performance during the financial year ended 31st March 2025, posting a revenue of 252 million and gross profit of 25 million. It's a profitable business. Making gross profit margin of 9.9%. The margin is relatively low when compared with the pharmaceutical industry and typically range between not sufficient. Right. Normally, it is expected to have 30-40% EP margin, but here around 10%. Suggesting pressure on pricing or elevated cost of goods. So we may not charge higher prices due to competitions or our cost is increased. Possibility to reliance on import, supply chain efficiency, these are the country factor for that part. The import cost may be high. There may be some supply chain inefficiencies or limited economic of scales. You know what is economic of scales now? So cost reduction will occur when we are operating at a high capacity level. So they don't have opportunity to get these economic of scales also. The company generated an additional 8 million in other income, leading to a total operating net finance cost of 7 million. Primarily divided by finance cost 12 million, this by finance income of 5 million. So that indicates that their gearing is high, at a risk, at a higher risk level. This net finance burden significantly impacted portability. Reduce the profit before tax to 12 million and the net profit after tax to 9 million, yielding a net profit margin of 3.6, not a higher level. In comparison, industry has often reported net margin between 8% to 15%, reflecting that SLP lagged behind bottom line, not up to the standard compared with the other players. While the company remained profitable, the margin indicate operational and financial inefficiencies. So there can be some inefficiencies. No? That's why our profit margin is very low. The key areas are requiring strategic attention include cost of sales control, improving procurement strategies, exploring local manufacturing or partnership, and managing them to reduce finance costs. These are some of uh, the strategies available. We have to control the cost of sales. Sales. So you have to improve procurement. So you have to connect with local partners. You have to manage them to reduce finance costs. The reason board level. So for example, you can convert that one to equity, no? So you can go for a right issue and you can get capital and then you can pay off these loans. Then the finance cost will be reduced. The reason board level consideration of a merger or acquisition of equity group in parcel agents to strategically boost the margin, brand value, enhancing long-term competitive. And so overall, while SLP remain viable, its performance is currently below industry benchmark, not up to standard. Signing the need for structural improvement drives sustainable growth. The finance control of HP Hemali has advised the board that any given opportunity and net income return exceeds 7% per annum. The average interest rate on interest-bearing debt is 8.5%, 10%, and corporate tax rate is 30%. So the minimum return required set by both the equity and debt holders pursuing investment with return below this threshold would not create value for shareholders. Therefore, to ensure financial sustainability and long-term growth, the company must prioritize investment projects that generate return above so not easy now, right? SLP has prepared forecast for the next 3 years based on current business trend and strategic outlook. The management believe that if fresh funds can be support to invest in advanced technology, particularly upgrade the inventory management and delivery system, the company could achieve annual growth in EBIT over the next 3 years. During the third year, the company expects EBIT to grow at a stable rate annually, driven by to operate location and enhance customer service capabilities of the technology investment. These are more connected with this financial management guys. How many directors here? 12. 11. 11 directors. 4 independent directors. So not sufficient, no? Non-executive, how much? So lack of information. So then additional information, market price per share of healthcare PLC is 52. Right. At the end of October 2025, the weighted average yield rate for Sri Lanka Treasury Bill and Treasury Bond based on that auction conducted by Central Bank of Sri Lanka were as follows. So 3 month Treasury Bill 7.58, 6 months 7.89, 1 year 8.03. This is risk-free rate. He will publish the end of week rate for secondary market transaction of government securities. Some recent Treasury bond rate as at 31st October 25 into the following. Bond rate 2 years 7.5, 3 years 7.5, 4 years also 7.5 now. Global Pharma, PS is considered the benchmark company Sri Lanka's pharmaceutical industry indicated that its leading company key reference point in the sector. Open user approximately obtain relevant data. The company's capital structure consists of debt to equity ratio of 30% beta of 0.40. Beta 0.40 mean low risk company. Debt, the low gearing company also 30%. Then Annex 1 to 3 below provide financial information below to all companies. Healthcare. SC Healthcare is our company, main one. So what do you think? So profitable, no? Company profitable, group also profitable. Group is 3 times profitable. Right? Balance sheet. So current assets more than current liabilities. Yes. Yes. So there are no much issues. These are related to finance. San Lanka Pharma, this can be acquired by us. This calculations okay. You see, plus 25, they come 8 now. That is 33, 14, 19. Finance income 5, 24, 24 minus 12, 9. 12 plus tax deduction 3, no? 3. Yes. San Lanka Pharma Private Limited. Balance sheets, current assets, 782, current liabilities, 540. Current ratio is still positive, right? In San Lanka Pharma Private Limited, forecast is been given. As for the data, what do you think is profitable? Profit is increasing. So they have given the financial information of healthcare Kandy Hospital also, right? Profit 33, balance sheets, there is no much issue. Current assets is higher than the current liabilities, right? So if you look at the group property is very high, probably lab B is more profitable. That is the assumption. Because if you look at about this Kandy Hospital, there is not much profit. Into 33. So it was mentioned that Matra Hospital also struggling and just break even, be 100. But see this, the group properties to 3 times compared to the company. So laboratory may be more profitable. That is the assumptions, right? Yes, yes, is laboratory revenue is there. Here, say 3178, right? So it may be more profitable. That is the assumption. Do you agree with my point, guys? Lab may be more profitable, no? Do you agree? See, if you look at about this data, right? So that the conclusions we can make. Then the next four, Colombo Stock Exchange, Sri Lankan Healthcare Industry Analysis, current industry price earning ratio, investor are pessimistic on the Sri Lankan healthcare industry, indicating that they long-term growth rate to be lower than they have historically. The industry is trading a price earning ratio of 13.3, the lower than 3 average price earning ratio of 16.6. Good situations, no? The 3 average price to sales ratio is 1.1% lower than industry current price. PS ratio of 1.3%. These are more connected with the financial management. Fast earning growth, earning of companies in the healthcare industry have declined 9%, 6%, 9.6% for a year over the last 3 years. So earning has come down. by 9.6% per year over the last 3 years. Meanwhile, revenue of these companies have grown 9% growth per year. Revenue grow, but earning decline. That indicate cost has increased. No? This means that although more sales are being generated, the cost of doing business, so the level of investment back into business has increased, which has decreased probably. Finance cost now have been increased. Industry price earning forecast, price earning inflation forecast. Investors are most optimistic about the health tech industry. This trading above is 3-year average price earning ratio of 38.2. Like they are confident that earning will grow faster in the future than they have historically. Investors are more specific about the healthcare service industry, which is trading below 3-year average of 16.4. And then they have done some industrial business also, guys. Future of the Sri Lankan pharmaceutical industry. According to statistics from Statista, Sri Lanka's pharmaceutical market is poised for steady expansions, with revenues projected to reach $274.2 billion by 2025 and a further increase to $296.15 billion by 2030. Representing a compound annual growth rate of 1.5%. So growing, no? 2025 to 174, but expect to grow up to 296 by 2030. Growth rate is 1.5%, not higher growth rate. With this market, oncology drugs dominate, accounting for the largest market share of the projected volume of 42 million in 2025. This highlights the growing demand for advanced treatment to address cancer and other chronic illness in the country. More opportunity here. At the same time, there is a notable consumer shift toward herbal and traditional medicine. This opportunity, you can start a Ayurvedic hospital, for example. In line with Sri Lanka's rich cultural heritage and abundant natural resources, this dual trend expansion model pharmaceutical alongside increasing demand for global mobility presents significant opportunities for both multinational companies and local manufacturers to innovate, diversify their portfolios, and address the evolving healthcare needs of the Sri Lankan populations. These are opportunities. If you are doing a short analysis, these can be an years opportunity. Right. So with that, we can complete the discussions of the pre-scene. Right. It's your time to raise questions, guys. So you can unmute the mic and raise questions. I hope you can unmute the mic. Or other option is you can just send a message. I'm willing to answer. Right. Ask any questions we have. Do we have any other session related to this? I'm not sure. Just check with session numbers. I have been invited only for this. Okay, so when I have done that, I will share. Any more questions, guys? Now, from your point of view, what can be done by yourself? Normally, the best starting point to analyze a case study is to come up with a SWOT analysis. That should be the first analysis you have to do, right? So do a SWOT analysis first, right? That is what I wanted. Then even industry analysis can be done. Hypothesis model. Given the pestle, very common analysis. Pestle. So while we are discussing the pre-seed, we came up with some more leadership style. So you can look at about visionary leaderships. Then you can look at about some of the other the leadership model related with this one, right? Uh, so strategy, Porter and Bowman, you can analyze. A learning organization concept can be studied. Handy's culture, you can check what type of culture is available here. Talent management may be a possible testing area for the examiner, right? Talent management, they have to under the people and valuation part, it is there. Just check. ERP, it has been separately mentioned. So more possible to test a question from ERP. Please look at that very carefully. Those are possible key tool which can be tested. Right. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Right. There are no questions. Then we can wind up for the sessions, guys. Thank you very much for joining. You have enough time for doing these analysis. Nothing to worry. Do all the analysis that you can. Right. If you have any query, please contact me. I think most of you know my contact number. Not known, I am sharing here. Right. You can connect with me. If you have any clarification to get from me, they have shared my number. Right. So thank you very much and wish you all the best for the exam. Right. So good night for all.